I expect the United States to remain a staunch and, of course, important NATO ally, just by the fact that the United States is by far the biggest ally. And I expect that for at least 3 reasons. One is that it is in the security interest of the United States to have a strong NATO. The United States becomes stronger and safer with NATO than without. The United States has in NATO something no other major power has, and that is more than 30 friends and allies. Russia doesn't have that. China doesn't have that. The United States has that. And the United States is, of course, big. 25% of the world's economy. But if you add together all NATO allies, then we are 50% of the world economy. Twice as big, 50% of the world's military might. So especially in times where the United States is concerned about China, their military capabilities, their economic might, it is even more important to keep NATO with all its friends and allies. So that's the first reason. I strongly believe that countries acting according to their interests, and it is the US security interest to keep NATO. A strong NATO is good for Europe, but it is also very good for the United States. The only time we invoked Article 5 was after an attack on the United States. The second reason why I expect that the United States will remain a loyal ally is that there is broad bipartisan support to NATO. There have just been new opinion polls published, and they reiterate or show once again that there is strong support across the United States for NATO. And I visited the Senate this morning, and I met with a lot of senators, but also yesterday I met with representatives in the House of Representatives, bipartisan. I met with Speaker Mike Johnson. I met with a broad group of senators this morning from both parties, and they all repeat the same, that NATO is important for the United States. So also in the Congress, in the Senate and the House of Representatives, there is strong bipartisan support for NATO. That's the second reason why I expect the United States to remain a loyal ally. But the third reason is that the main criticism from former President Trump, but also from other US presidents, has not primarily been against NATO. It has been against NATO allies not investing enough in NATO. And that has changed. The clear message has had an impact, because now allies are really stepping up. Just a few years ago, less than 10 allies spent 2% of GDP on defense. When we made the pledge in 2014, it was only 3 allies. Now it's 23 allies. And those allies who are not yet at 2% have plans in place to be there. So this is a totally different world. The message from the United States has been understood, and allies have acted. So for these reasons, it is in the US security interest to have a strong NATO. There is strong bipartisan support for NATO in the United States, and European allies and Canada have actually addressed the main criticism from the United States. The lack of burden sharing has been addressed, and allies will continue to address it.